Togo is a former French colony, and they still have influence in Togo. So, for me, Macron went to them and told them, listen, me, change the constitution so that you're no longer elected by the people, but by your parliament. So you can stay in power for as long as you need, and then we can still manipulate, and you have to do what we say, when, where, how, and why. You don't ask questions. So guys, let us just jump right into it. Togo, the president and his parliament, just committed basically a constitutional coup, which is gonna wreak, in my view, gonna wreak havoc on the country. But for you to understand where I'm coming from, what I'm talking about, take a listen to this video so you can grasp where I'm coming from, and also understand a little more before we start to elaborate on it. Take a listen. Boom.
On Monday, in one fell swoop, Togo's ruling party changed the rules. They adopted a new constitution and changed the country's government from a presidential system to a parliamentary one.
So there has been a rebalancing of the powers of the head of state and the powers of the president of the cabinet, who becomes prime minister. From now on, you win the parliament, you run the country. It's that simple.
The new term of the President of the Republic is 6 years, non-renewable. Today, we are also calling on the Togolese people to unite to say no to the changing constitution, which is why we have called our group Don't Touch My Constitution.
Enough is enough. It is over. We are going to fight. Everyone knows they violated Article 52 and 59.
Enough is enough. We've been piling on, accepting the unacceptable for decades.
Togo's opposition thinks that a sinister game is afoot, a plot to keep President Gnassingbé in power even longer. The president took office in 2005. A coup followed his father's death and paved the way for Gnassingbé Jr.'s rise. He has ruled Togo ever since, for almost 19 years now. Togo officially has a presidential term limit, but every few years there's a tweak, and miraculously the term limit gets reset.
So guys, what do you think about that video? Do you agree with the opposition who's saying we cannot cut the citizens out of food, deciding who they want to rule, and they cannot put it in the hands of parliamentarians? So here's my 2 cents on this. I don't believe in cutting our citizens out of choosing who should represent them, because we fight, black people, we fight to have the right to vote and choose who to lead us. And now they cannot come years after the revolution and people giving their life to this movement to come and, you know, really, you want the parliament literally tell the people that, yo, as from now on, you have no say in who rule this country. It's the parliament who's gonna appoint who they feel like, who they're good with. So this is like a puppetry level to me, because Togo is a French colony who still have influence in Togo. So if that president of Togo is the puppet of the French, of the French, and then he put it in law, he cannot be elected out. See what happened there? Because I do believe that the French have a hand in this. Why? Because they lost Senegal, Niger, Mali, Burkina Faso, Guinea. Well, not Guinea, they didn't really lose Guinea. And a few other African countries. Chad as well. They basically getting revolt again. So in order for them to, like, this is a preemptive strike to get these other maybe 8 or 9 colonies change this constitution to make the people don't have no choice in choosing who the presidency. And this is what is the issue for me. I think this is a move by the French to secure Togo to be ruled and colonized forever. Because if you make the parliament appoint the presidency, the who become president, and that party is in power all the time. But you see what happened, because the opposition don't have enough votes to overthrow. But the citizens can revolt and do whatever they need to do to have this overturned and go back to the original rule, because that's this does happen in Senegal when the president tried to extend his term and move the election date almost a year, and the citizens rioted, and said, no, you have to go back to the original date, and we're not giving anyone a chance to stay in power any longer. And what happened? he got voted out. They have a new president from a different party, and he, so far, is saying he's anti-French. So, again, Togo is a former French colony, and they still have influence in Togo. So, for me, Macron went to them and said, listen, change the constitution so that you're no longer elected by the people, but by your parliament. So you can stay in power for as long as you need, and then we can still manipulate, and you have to do what we say, when, where, how, and why. You don't ask questions. So I think this is what is happening here. And if the citizens of Togo do not do the same thing like what the citizens of Senegal did and stand up to this, or what is happening on the continent with South Africa and Mali and Niger, Burkina Faso, where the citizens back whoever they choose to lead them and stand by that person, behind that person 100%, we're going to have another French colony for the next, who knows, because this is a smart move from the French in this preemptive strike by cutting out the middleman, which is the people. So the Togo people need to listen and stand up and make sure they still have a choice in choosing the presidency. I'm not sure how the parliament work, how long does a parliamentarian serve in Togo, but if they can change the presidency constitution, they could change. They will do the same thing to make sure they cannot get voted out of power as well. So if they can put it in the constitution to say, for example, if 1/3 of the parliament vote for this upon this person, it cannot be overturned. Something like that. I think that they might as well do that, because if they allow the people to vote parliamentarian and then they get voted out, then the new parliament and the new members can vote in on the president, which I don't think they're going to want to take a chance with that. So they might tweak the constitution again to make sure that they cannot be voted out of parliament. And this is what I don't like when I see some black people get power. They hold on to it by any means necessary. And they don't want to lose their wealth and their position and their influence. So what? They don't care what they have to do, but they will screw the citizens just to stay in power. And this is not, we can't blame white people for this, or colonizers for this. We have to blame the leaders in these countries who are siding with these people. We cannot blame them to say it's because of slavery. No. You, as a human being and as a black person, should know that you cannot do this to your own people. It was to elevate the citizens and the country instead of keeping it at the level it has been for the past 60 years. Anyway, let me know what you think about this in the comment section. Do you agree with me or not? And if not, let us chop it up in the comment section. As always, tell a friend, tell a friend. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Boom.